Hi guys, and welcome to the Revolutionary Male. My name is Alex. Today I'm here to talk to you about an article called How to Love a Woman Who Has Been to Hell and Back by Kathy Parker. It's a little bit long. It's awfully pretentious in its language and the way she communicates. But the reason I want to talk about it today is because this is a very common sentiment, what I'm going to read in this article, about the way that women are allowed to treat men and that men should just take it. And I want to highlight a lot of the logic and the rationales that women like this use in their relationships, and the rationale that is used in the broader culture to convince men to suffer in abusive and destructive relationships with women. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Again, the title is How to Love a Woman Who Has Been to Hell and Back by Kathy Parker. The woman who has been to hell and back is not easy to love. Many have tried, most have failed. The weak need not attempt, for it will take more strength than you even know you possess, more patience, more resilience, more tenacity, more resolve. It requires a relentless love, one that is determined and not easily defeated, for the woman who has been to hell and back will push you away. Do not love a woman like that. It should not be incredibly difficult. It should not be like work. You should not essentially have to act or behave like a therapist to get a woman to love you, to get a woman to reciprocate your behavior. This is ridiculous. If a person is this traumatized, they need to get professional help, and they are not ready to be in a relationship. You should not have to do this. Being in a romantic relationship with a woman should not be like trying to climb Mount Everest. And if it feels like trying to climb Mount Everest, I would recommend that you walk away as soon as possible, because it's likely that this woman is either incredibly traumatized and therefore in need of incredible amounts of help before she can ever be in a stable romantic relationship, or she is a narcissist and incredibly dangerous. Let's continue on. She will test you in her desire to know what you are made of, whether you have what it takes to weather the storm, because she is unpredictable, at times a hurricane, a force of nature that rides on the fury of her suffering, other times a gentle rain, calm, still, and quiet. When she is the gentle rain that falls in time to hear her silent tears, love her. When she is the thunder and lightning and ferocious wind that wreak havoc, love her harder. Again, women who test men, and I'm going to make a separate video about this more specifically later, are not healthy. They're not functional women capable of being in a healthy relationship. Generally speaking. Maybe I shouldn't be quite so broad. Maybe there are women who will do this, who will test men in that way, who can be, but you need to go in with your eyes open and realizing that these women are not functional, they're not healthy, they're not stable. It should not be like trying to survive being out on the ocean on a ship, surviving a hurricane. That is not what a romantic relationship should be like. And any woman who tries to argue that it is, or tries to argue that it's like you have some kind of responsibility to save this person, then I would recommend that you stop, number one, talking to whoever that person is giving that really terrible advice. And number two, leave the relationship as soon as humanly possible. Not good. Not good at all. Relationships should not be unpredictable. Stable relationships are predictable. No stable man wants to be in a relationship with a woman whose behavior they cannot predict. It's not good. Not good at all. Continuing, she is a contradiction, a pendulum that will forever swing between fear of suffocation and fear of abandonment, and even she will not know how to find the balance between the two. Well, then that's a problem. If a woman has mood swings like this, where one moment she wants you around all the time, the next moment she wants you to get away from her as soon as possible, get away from her. Leave that woman alone. Because she's either trying to manipulate you, or she's incredibly emotionally unstable and she needs to get help immediately. Continuing on. Because today, although she will never tell you, she will feel insecure. Again, that's a problem. Oh, there's an ambulance out there. Sorry about that. That's a problem. The onus is on you, and the onus is on her to communicate about your feelings and your emotional needs. Nobody is supposed to read your mind. She will want you to stay close, to tuck her hair behind her ear and kiss her on her forehead, and hold her in the strength of your arms. But tomorrow she will crave her independence, her space, her solitude. Again, there's nothing wrong with someone who has a balanced life, especially if you're just dating or in a committed relationship but not living together. That's perfectly fine to spend time apart. You don't need to spend every waking moment together. It's perfectly normal to have healthy relationships with the people outside your romantic partner, friends, family, coworkers, and so on. But there should not be this incredible swing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between what she needs. For while you have slept, she has been awake, unable to slow her thoughts, watching clocks and chasing time, trying to make the broken pieces fit, to make sense of it all, of where and how she fits. She fights her demons and slays her dragons, afraid if she goes to sleep they will gain the upper hand, afraid if she goes to sleep she will no longer be in control. Tomorrow she will be tired and your presence will smother her. She will need only herself. When she reaches out to you, love her. When she pushes you away, love her harder. That's absurd. What this article is essentially telling men, and I assume the writer is talking to men in this instance, is this woman can do whatever the hell she wants, and you're just supposed to be okay with that. In fact, not even that you're just supposed to be okay with it. She can do whatever the hell she wants to herself, to other people, to you, and you not only have to be okay with it, you have to love her more, the more dysfunctional, self-destructive, dangerous she is. That's what this article is saying. That's what it's ultimately saying. New situations and places and people and experiences will make her anxious. She will be fiercely independent and long to overcome her fears, all the while as terrified as a small child alone in the big world. If an adult is as terrified as a child alone in the big world, that adult needs to get help, and they don't belong in a romantic relationship. That's not good. It's not healthy. This sounds wonderfully poetic. It's not healthy. It's not good. Sometimes she will need to be courageous to prove to herself she has what it takes. Other times she will need you to take her hand and hold it firmly in yours. Sometimes she may not know what she needs, and you will need to read her like a book, with worn pages and a tattered spine, and be what she needs when she does not know herself. Wrong. It's not my responsibility to read your mind, to figure you out, to fix your problems, to satisfy every waking emotional need that you have. That's your responsibility. We should support each other, absolutely. Be there for one another, provide physical, emotional, financial support, depending on the nature of the relationship itself. But it's not on me in this scenario to read this woman's mind. And if a woman believes that it is your responsibility as a man to just get it, I would leave her the hell alone. When she is brave and steps into the world on her own, love her. When she has scared but refuses to take your hand, love her harder. She will live in fear of not being enough and always being too much, an endless battle to find the middle ground. Again, it should not be like this. When she feels, ashamed if the scale falls one way or the other, ashamed to be herself, for no one has ever loved her, both when she is small and also when she is tremendous. When she feels too much, love her. When she feels not enough, love her harder. Again, wrong. Love needs to come from inside. The reason she has all of these issues, fundamentally, is because she doesn't love who she is. There's an incredible amount of self-loathing here. Self-doubt, as well as a number of other, mood disorders. But, nevertheless, this is never the responsibility of somebody else to fix this stuff. Never. Never allow anyone to convince you otherwise. Okay, let's see. Sometimes she won't hurt, and the light will shine from her eyes, and her laughter will be a rare and precious melody. But sometimes she will hurt so much from the trauma still in her body. She will ache. She will feel pain and anguish. The light will grow dim and the music will fade. When she is the light, love her. When she is the darkness, love her harder. She will always love you with caution, with one foot out the door. For she does not understand a love with no conditions, one that is powerful enough to withstand hard times. And that right there says it all. You have to love her unconditionally, regardless of what she does. Is she going to reciprocate that? Hell no. Never. Not a chance. Doesn't it seem unbalanced to you? It does to me. It's absurd. It's utterly, utterly obscene to expect someone to love a person unconditionally in any circumstance, and to not even attempt to reciprocate it. It's obscene. All right, let's see. She cannot allow herself to fully trust in your love, and she will keep parts of her heart hidden. The parts that have been hurt the most, the parts she can't risk being hurt again after she has worked so hard to stitch them back together. That is, again, a bad sign. You have no reason to trust this person. They can't be honest with you. God knows what they'll do. If this person is just traumatized and not necessarily narcissistic, even then they'll still have the capacity to lie to you, to not be transparent. And because they decide one day that they don't like the way that you're treating them, maybe you're smothering them in their minds, they'll go out and have an affair. That's how these kinds of people behave. And the more narcissistic the person tends to be, the worse the behavior is that they do to you. Lie, manipulate, deceive, destroy your relationships with your relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people, your relationship with them. These are the kinds of people who can cost you that drive men to kill themselves. So it's not a laughing matter. This is not a joke. This is not some, pretty poem that we're talking about here. This is human lives. This is serious. And clearly this author, Kathy Parker, does not get that because she's never been on the receiving end of this behavior. And I can pretty much guarantee you, based on the way this person is writing it, Kathy is writing, that this is her. This is her. And I hope she's gotten help. All right. She will always watch, wait, and expect you to leave first. And when you don't, she has a truth written upon her heart that says you will. It's only a matter of time for everyone who loves her leaves her. And so she will seek to sabotage the relationship. She will seek to destroy it. She will seek to leave first. She will seek to hurt you before you can hurt her. This is how she stays in control. This is how she survives. How she will ensure she will not get hurt again. Again, this is abuse. This is abuse. If your partner, your girlfriend, your wife is doing this kind of stuff to you, this is abuse. And you need to get help so that you can find a way out. There is no reason to tolerate this kind of behavior. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And it is astonishing to me that this author can write this, that somebody would actually publish this. It is incredible. And it just goes to show you what is expected of men to just tolerate. It's crazy. When she wants to love you, love her. When she wants to hurt you, love her harder. Not really sure what to say to that. That's insane. That's insane. Being out of control terrifies her. Don't ever make her feel powerless, trapped, or without her freedom. You are not responsible for the emotions of other people. Do not take responsibility for the way other people feel. But let me clarify that. That's typically an issue that codependent people have. Codependent caretakers in particular, they will take responsibility for the emotions of others. And what I'm really talking about here is that. Do not take responsibility for the emotional stability of another person. It's not your job. And it's not good. Because the more you do that, the less internally stable that person's going to become, because they're going to come to rely on you to keep them balanced. And that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. She needs to dance barefoot under enormous blue skies, to feel sand between her toes, to run with wolves as the wind weaves magic through her hair, for here is where her healing is found. Never clip her wings, for if she has the freedom to fly, she will always come back to you. Love her. Now that's not terribly unreasonable. You should not try to control other people, obviously. Love is freedom. Love is surrendering. Love is letting go. So that's relatively, taking it completely out of the context of this article, obviously, that's relatively reasonable. Love her when it's easy, and love her harder when it's not. Love her in a way that will defy all she has ever known love to be. Love her because you understand with every fiber of your soul the gift of her love, what it has cost her to offer you her fragile heart. She does not need you. She has chosen you because you have what it takes to survive the storm. Because even when she doesn't know how to love, you know how to love harder. Because that is the way to win her heart and soul. Then it ain't worth winning, girl. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. There's not a lot left to say about this, except that obviously people who are having struggles with mental health, I've had many struggles, my own personal struggles with mental health. I haven't gotten into it in any of my videos yet. I'm planning on doing that. Being in relationships with those people who are working on themselves, you can do it. It's possible, but you have to be very careful. And you have to set very, very clear boundaries and very, very clear goals and stick by them. Because you can end up being caught in a situation like this while starting out with the best of intentions. So you have to be very careful when engaging with men or women, anyone who has mental health issues. Because we have to protect ourselves individually from people who are intending to do us deliberate harm, and people who may not intend to harm us from the outset, but may otherwise do it. So that's all I'm going to leave you with here tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any interest in talking with me about any of these issues in more detail, you can see my email address on the page below. I have some social media accounts, The Revolutionary Male on Instagram and Twitter, and I look forward to talking with you guys as I continue to produce content. Have a good one.